Mastering Emotional Intelligence, a practical guide to self-awareness, empathy, and meaningful relationships. Chapter 1. Introduction to Emotional Intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? EI. Emotional intelligence, EI, sometimes referred to as emotional quotient, EQ, is the ability to recognize, understand, manage, and influence both our own emotions and the emotions of others. Unlike traditional measures of intelligence, which focus on cognitive abilities, EI emphasizes the emotional aspect of human interactions. It's a skill set that helps individuals navigate social complexities, resolve conflicts, and foster meaningful relationships, both personally and professionally. EI can be broken down into 5 key components: self-awareness, the ability to recognize and understand your own emotions, and how they impact your thoughts and behaviors. Self-regulation, the ability to manage and control your emotions in healthy ways, particularly in stressful or challenging situations. Motivation, the ability to harness emotions to pursue goals with energy and persistence. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, to see things from their perspective. Social skills, the ability to build relationships, influence others, and manage conflict in a positive manner. These elements together form the foundation of emotional intelligence, and developing them can help you respond more effectively to both personal challenges and professional demands. Why EI matters in life and work. Emotional intelligence plays a critical role in nearly every aspect of life. In personal relationships, EI helps people communicate more effectively, handle conflicts with understanding, and create deeper emotional bonds. In the workplace, it's invaluable for leadership, teamwork, and conflict resolution. Research has shown that individuals with high emotional intelligence are often more successful in their careers, as they can adapt to change, manage stress, and collaborate better with others. In fact, a study by TalentSmart, a leading provider of emotional intelligence testing, found that 90% of top performers in the workplace have high EI. This demonstrates that emotional intelligence is often a stronger predictor of success than technical skills or IQ alone. Beyond professional success, EI contributes to well-being and happiness. People with higher emotional intelligence tend to experience less stress, enjoy healthier relationships, and exhibit greater resilience in the face of adversity. The science behind emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is rooted in both neuroscience and psychology. Studies have shown that emotions play a significant role in how we make decisions and process information. For example, the amygdala, a part of the brain responsible for processing emotions, is deeply involved in emotional responses. However, it's the prefrontal cortex, responsible for higher-level thinking, that helps regulate these emotions and allow us to make more rational decisions. Researchers like Daniel Goleman, who helped popularize the concept of emotional intelligence in the 1990s, argue that EI can be learned and developed over time. Unlike IQ, which is believed to be relatively fixed, EI can improve through practice, self-reflection, and commitment to personal growth. In his groundbreaking work, Goleman identified that emotional intelligence is not just a soft skill, but a critical factor for professional and personal development. The ability to navigate and control emotions effectively enhances cognitive functioning, decision-making, and even physical health, as emotional well-being is linked to lower stress levels and stronger immune systems. The role of EI in daily life. You may not always realize it, but emotional intelligence influences virtually every interaction you have. Whether you're collaborating with a colleague on a project, resolving a disagreement with a friend, or simply managing your emotions in a stressful situation, your level of EI determines how effectively you navigate these experiences. EI helps you recognize when you're becoming frustrated or anxious, allowing you to adjust your behavior before emotions spiral out of control. It helps you empathize with others, making your responses more considerate and thoughtful. In personal relationships, it enables you to connect with others on a deeper level, fostering trust and understanding. Moreover, cultivating EI also allows you to grow from challenges. Instead of being derailed by setbacks, you learn to manage disappointment, maintain perspective, and continue moving forward with resilience. Conclusion. Emotional intelligence is a vital life skill that shapes how we relate to ourselves, others, and the world around us. While IQ can help you solve complex problems and process information, EI helps you solve interpersonal challenges and navigate emotional landscapes. By understanding and developing your emotional intelligence, you open the door to greater success, fulfillment, and well-being. As we move through this guide, we will dive deeper into the individual components of EI and explore practical exercises to help you develop them in your own life. Whether you're seeking better relationships, career advancement, or personal growth, Mastering emotional intelligence is the key to unlocking your full potential. Chapter 2. Building the foundation, understanding self-awareness. Recognizing your emotions. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of emotional intelligence. It is the ability to recognize and understand your own emotions, and how they impact your thoughts, behaviors, and decision-making processes. When you are self-aware, you have a clear understanding of your emotional state, and can manage it in ways that benefit you and those around you. The first step in cultivating self-awareness is to acknowledge your emotions as they arise. Many people go through life unaware of the emotional currents running beneath the surface. For example, you might feel irritated after a conversation, but it's only when you pause and reflect that you realize the underlying emotion is frustration, not just irritation. Self-awareness requires tuning into your emotional experiences without judgment, simply observing what you feel. Signs that you are becoming more self-aware. You can identify what you're feeling at any given moment. You are aware of how your emotions affect your thoughts and actions. You can reflect on past emotional reactions and learn from them. You begin to recognize recurring emotional patterns in certain situations. Start by noticing small shifts in your emotions throughout the day. Whether you're feeling anxious before a meeting or elated after a compliment, take a moment to check in with yourself. Ask, what am I feeling? Why do I feel this way? Recognizing emotions as they occur helps you gain control over them rather than letting them control you. Identifying triggers and patterns. Self-awareness is not just about recognizing your emotions. It's also about understanding why you feel the way you do. Emotions often arise as reactions to specific triggers, external or internal events, that provoke an emotional response. These triggers could be anything from a comment made by a colleague to an unanticipated change in your routine. Identifying your emotional triggers is a key step in understanding yourself better. Think about the emotions you experience most frequently. Do you feel anger when you're criticized, or anxiety when you're faced with uncertainty? These are important clues that reveal your emotional triggers. Exercise. Identifying triggers. Keep a small notebook or use a note-taking app to jot down your emotional responses throughout the day. Whenever you feel a strong emotion, take note of the situation that prompted it. Was there a particular event, person, or interaction that caused the reaction? Reflect on patterns. Are certain situations or people more likely to trigger specific emotions? What do these patterns reveal about your emotional landscape? Once you identify these triggers, you gain a clearer understanding of the patterns that shape your emotional responses. This allows you to anticipate and manage your reactions, leading to greater emotional control. It's also important to recognize that some emotional responses may stem from past experiences or unresolved issues. These deeper emotional triggers can influence your behavior and responses without you fully realizing it. For example, if you experience criticism frequently as a child, you might feel defensiveness or anger when someone critiques your work, even if the feedback is constructive. Exercises. Daily emotion journaling. An effective way to deepen your self-awareness is through daily emotion journaling. By regularly reflecting on your emotions, you create a space for understanding your feelings and their underlying causes. Over time, this practice helps you identify emotional patterns, understand triggers, and become more mindful of your emotional state. How to start emotion journaling. Choose a time each day to reflect on your emotions, preferably at the end of the day, when you can think back on the events that shaped your emotions. Write down your emotions. Begin by noting the emotions you felt throughout the day. Be specific. Instead of just writing, I felt bad, try writing, I felt frustrated when my colleague interrupted me in the meeting. Identify triggers. Ask yourself what caused the emotions you experienced. Was it an event, a person, or your own thoughts? For example, I felt frustrated because I didn't get to finish my thoughts in the meeting. Reflect on the experience. Consider how your emotional response influenced your behavior. Did it affect your decision-making or interactions with others? For instance, I shut down after being interrupted and didn't speak up again. Look for patterns. Over time, you'll start to notice trends in your emotional responses. Do certain situations consistently trigger negative emotions? Are there patterns in how you respond to stress or criticism? By journaling about your emotions, you not only become more self-aware, but you also give yourself the opportunity to learn and grow from each experience. This practice of daily reflection can also help you become more attuned to your emotional state in the present moment, improving your ability to manage your feelings effectively, enhancing your emotional vocabulary. In addition to recognizing and identifying your emotions, it's crucial to expand your emotional vocabulary. Many people tend to describe their emotions in simplistic terms, like happy, sad, or angry. However, emotions are much more nuanced than these basic categories. By broadening your emotional vocabulary, you can express your feelings more precisely and gain a deeper understanding of your emotional landscape. Consider emotions such as frustrated versus angry, excited versus nervous, content versus apathetic, guilty versus ashamed. The more specific you can be in describing your emotions, the clearer your understanding of your emotional state will be. When you can pinpoint the exact emotion you're feeling, it becomes easier to process and manage it. For instance, recognizing that you feel disappointed rather than angry allows you to respond to the situation with a greater sense of clarity and calm. Exercise: expanding your emotional vocabulary. Find a list of emotional words, many can be found online, and review it. Choose a few new words to incorporate into your daily reflections. Try using these words in your journaling, conversations, or self-reflection. The more you familiarize yourself with the full spectrum of emotions, the better equipped you'll be to understand yourself and respond in ways that align with your true feelings. Conclusion: self-awareness is an ongoing journey that requires patience, practice, and a willingness to look inward. By recognizing your emotions, identifying triggers, and developing a richer emotional vocabulary, you create a strong foundation for emotional intelligence. Self-awareness not only enhances your emotional intelligence, but also empowers you to take control of your emotional responses, fostering healthier relationships and greater personal well-being. As you continue on this path, remember that self-awareness isn't about judging your emotions, but simply acknowledging them with curiosity and compassion. This chapter sets the stage for deeper emotional growth, allowing you to respond to life with clarity, balance, and authenticity. Chapter 3: Cultivating Self-Regulation. Managing emotional reactions. Once you've developed self-awareness, the next step is learning to manage your emotional responses effectively. Self-regulation is the ability to control impulsive behaviors, manage stress, and respond to challenges in a constructive way. It's not about suppressing emotions but about choosing how to express them in ways that align with your goals and values. Imagine encountering a sudden roadblock in your day, like a missed deadline or a frustrating conversation. Your initial reaction might be anger, anxiety, or disappointment. Self-regulation allows you to pause, process these emotions, and respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Key strategies for managing emotional reactions include: pause and breathe. When emotions start to rise, take a moment to breathe deeply. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, helping to calm your body and mind. Label your emotions. Clearly identify what you're feeling. Saying, "I feel overwhelmed," can help you take ownership of your emotions without letting them control you. Reframe the situation. Look for a different perspective. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, ask yourself, "What can I learn from this?" Delay immediate reactions. When possible, give yourself time before responding to emotionally charged situations. This might mean stepping away or saying, "Let me think about this and get back to you." Strategies for impulse control. Impulse control is a critical aspect of self-regulation. It's the ability to resist the urge to act on immediate emotions or desires, particularly when those actions could lead to negative outcomes. Some practical methods for enhancing impulse control include: identify your triggers. Just as with self-awareness, knowing what situations or emotions prompt impulsive reactions is crucial. Recognizing these patterns helps you prepare and respond more mindfully. Practice mindful decision-making. Before making a decision, ask yourself, will this action align with my long-term goals? How will I feel about it tomorrow? Develop alternative responses. If you're tempted to act impulsively, identify a healthier alternative. For example, instead of sending an angry email, draft it but wait 24 hours before deciding to send or edit it. Build a buffer. Create habits that reduce the likelihood of impulsive behavior. For instance, if stress eating is a challenge, keep healthier snacks on hand or practice stress relief techniques like exercise or meditation. Exercises, mindfulness and stress management. Mindfulness is one of the most effective tools for cultivating self-regulation. It involves focusing on the present moment with openness and acceptance, which helps you manage emotional responses more effectively. Mindfulness practice, the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. When you feel overwhelmed, this grounding exercise can help bring you back to the present moment. Notice 5 things you can see around you. Notice 4 things you can touch. Notice 3 things you can hear. Notice 2 things you can smell. Notice 1 thing you can taste. This simple practice engages your senses, distracting you from overwhelming emotions and reducing stress. Exercise, progressive muscle relaxation. Stress often manifests physically. Progressive muscle relaxation, PMR, is a technique that helps release tension and fosters a sense of calm. Find a quiet place and sit or lie down comfortably. Starting at your toes, tense each muscle group for 5-10 seconds, then release. Gradually work your way up your body, focusing on one muscle group at a time. For example, calves, thighs, shoulders, jaw. Pay attention to the sensation of relaxation in each area. PMR not only reduces stress, but also increases your awareness of how emotions affect your body. Exercise, the stop technique. This mindfulness tool helps you pause and regain control in emotionally charged situations. S. Stop whatever you're doing. T. Take a deep breath. O. Observe your emotions and physical sensations without judgment. P. Proceed with awareness, choosing a thoughtful response. Creating an emotionally balanced routine. Self-regulation is easier when you create a stable environment and build habits that promote emotional balance. Some steps to consider: establish healthy boundaries. Learn to say no to commitments that overstretch your capacity. Setting boundaries helps you protect your time and energy. Practice self-care. Prioritize activities that recharge you, whether that's exercise, reading, or spending time with loved ones. Develop consistent routines. Regular sleep, exercise, and nutrition can improve emotional stability and resilience. Limit emotional overload. Reduce exposure to stressors when possible, such as cutting down on excessive screen time or taking breaks from high-pressure tasks. The role of emotional regulation in relationships. Self-regulation isn't just about managing your own emotions. It also influences how you interact with others. When you can remain calm and composed, even in challenging interactions, you build trust and respect in your relationships. For example, if a friend or colleague expresses anger, self-regulation allows you to listen without becoming defensive or escalating the situation. By staying emotionally grounded, you create space for constructive dialogue and problem solving. Key phrases that demonstrate emotional regulation in conversations include: I understand why you feel this way. Let's take a moment to think through this. I'd like to revisit this conversation when we're both feeling calmer. Conclusion: self-regulation is the bridge between recognizing your emotions and using them constructively. By managing emotional reactions, strengthening impulse control, and cultivating habits that promote balance, you empower yourself to navigate challenges with clarity and resilience. As you practice the exercises in this chapter, remember that self-regulation is a skill that develops over time. The more you engage with these techniques, the more natural they will become, paving the way for a more emotionally intelligent and fulfilling life. In the next chapter, we will explore the role of motivation and how it can be harnessed to fuel personal growth and goal achievement. With self-awareness and self-regulation as your foundation, you'll be ready to unlock the full potential of your emotional intelligence. Chapter 4: The Power of Motivation. Motivation is the engine that drives your actions and propels you toward achieving your goals. In the context of emotional intelligence, motivation goes beyond external rewards or accolades. It's about cultivating a sense of purpose and finding joy in personal growth and achievement. Understanding and harnessing motivation can lead to a more fulfilling life, empowering you to overcome challenges, persist through setbacks, and maintain a positive outlook. Understanding intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Motivation can be broadly categorized into two types: extrinsic motivation. This type of motivation arises from external factors, such as rewards, recognition, or avoiding negative consequences. Examples include working hard for a bonus or exercising to fit into a desired outfit. While effective in the short term, extrinsic motivation often loses its impact once the external reward is removed. Intrinsic motivation. This stems from internal desires, such as personal growth, passion, or a sense of accomplishment. Examples include learning a new skill because it excites you, or exercising for the pleasure of feeling healthy. Intrinsic motivation tends to have a more sustainable and fulfilling effect on behavior and achievement. Reflection exercise. Think about a recent goal or task you pursued. Was your motivation intrinsic, extrinsic, or a combination of both? How did it affect your engagement and satisfaction? Harnessing positive emotional states for goal setting. Positive emotions play a crucial role in motivation by fostering creativity, resilience, and a sense of possibility. When you feel inspired, hopeful, or curious, you're more likely to take action and persevere through challenges. Linking emotions to goals. Consider how emotions like excitement or pride can enhance your commitment to a goal. Excitement motivates you to start new projects or pursue opportunities. Pride encourages you to persist and celebrate milestones. Curiosity drives you to explore and learn. By intentionally connecting positive emotions to your goals, you can boost your motivation and create a sense of anticipation and reward. Visualization technique. Close your eyes and imagine achieving a significant goal. Picture the details. What does success look, feel, and sound like? Allow the positive emotions associated with this vision to energize you. SMART goals, a framework for success. Motivation thrives on clarity. Setting SMART goals ensures that your efforts are focused and measurable, Specific, define your goal clearly, e.g., I want to run a 5K race. Measurable, include metrics to track progress, e.g., run 3 miles in under 30 minutes. Achievable, ensure it's realistic given your resources and time. Relevant, align it with your values and long-term aspirations. Time-bound, set a deadline, e.g., complete it within 3 months. Exercises, vision boards and gratitude practice. Exercise, creating a vision board. A vision board is a visual representation of your goals and aspirations. It serves as a daily reminder of what you're working toward, helping you stay motivated and focused. Steps to create your vision board: gather materials, a poster board, magazines, scissors, glue, or a digital design tool. Identify your goals. Think about areas of life you want to improve, such as health, career, or relationships. Find visuals and words, select images and phrases that resonate with your goals. Assemble your board. Arrange the items in a way that inspires you. Display it. Place your vision board somewhere you'll see it often, like your workspace or bedroom. Exercise, gratitude practice. Gratitude enhances motivation by shifting your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life. Daily gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. Reflect on why these things matter to you. Notice how practicing gratitude affects your mood and motivation over time. Overcoming motivation challenges. Even the most driven individuals face periods of low motivation. The key is to recognize these moments and apply strategies to reignite your passion. Common challenges and solutions. Lack of clarity. Problem, feeling unsure about what you want to achieve. Solution, revisit your goals and break them into smaller, actionable steps. Fear of failure. Problem, avoiding action due to a fear of making mistakes. Solution, reframe failure as a learning opportunity and celebrate progress, not just outcomes. Overwhelm. Problem, feeling paralyzed by the scope of a task. Solution, focus on one small task at a time and prioritize your efforts. Lack of immediate rewards. Problem, struggling to stay motivated when results are delayed. Solution, create mini milestones and reward yourself for achieving them. The link between motivation and emotional intelligence. Motivation is deeply intertwined with emotional intelligence. Self-awareness helps you identify what drives you. Self-regulation ensures that you stay focused even when faced with distractions or setbacks. Empathy connects your goals to the needs and aspirations of others, adding a layer of meaning. Social skills enable you to build supportive networks that foster encouragement and accountability. By leveraging the components of emotional intelligence, you can amplify your motivation and create a life filled with purpose and passion. Conclusion. Motivation is the spark that ignites action and sustains effort over time. Whether fueled by intrinsic desires, positive emotions, or meaningful goals, it's a powerful force that can transform your life. As you practice the techniques outlined in this chapter, remember that motivation isn't static, it ebbs and flows. By nurturing your emotional intelligence, you'll develop the tools to keep your motivation alive, even in challenging times. In the next chapter, we'll explore the role of empathy in understanding others' perspectives and building deeper connections, an essential skill for emotional intelligence. Chapter 5. Empathy, understanding others' perspectives. Empathy is the cornerstone of emotional intelligence that allows us to connect deeply with others. It involves recognizing, understanding, and responding to the emotions of others in meaningful ways. Empathy strengthens relationships, fosters trust, and enhances communication, making it an essential skill for personal and professional growth. Recognizing emotional cues in others. Empathy begins with attentiveness. People often communicate their emotions not only through words but also through nonverbal cues like tone of voice, facial expressions, posture, and gestures. Key emotional cues to observe: facial expressions. Subtle changes in expressions, such as a frown or smile, provide clues to a person's feelings. Tone of voice. The pitch, speed, and volume of speech can convey emotions like excitement, frustration, or sadness. Body language. Crossed arms, slouched shoulders, or leaning in can signal a range of emotions, from defensiveness to engagement. Choice of words. Pay attention to language that reflects emotions, such as, I feel overwhelmed, or, I'm excited about this. Practical exercise. Observing emotional cues. Spend a day consciously observing the people around you. Note their facial expressions, tone, and body language. Reflect on what emotions these cues might indicate. Active listening and compassionate communication. Empathy isn't just about recognizing emotions, it's about responding in a way that makes others feel heard and understood. This requires active listening and compassionate communication. Active listening techniques. Give full attention, Eliminate distractions, such as phones or multitasking, when someone is speaking. Show you're engaged. Use verbal affirmations like, "I see," or "that makes sense," and nonverbal signals like nodding. Reflect and clarify. Repeat back what you've heard to confirm understanding, e.g., "It sounds like you're feeling frustrated because." Avoid interrupting. Allow the speaker to finish their thoughts before responding. Compassionate communication tips. Acknowledge emotions. Validate the other person's feelings without judgment, e.g., "I can understand why you feel that way." Use empathic language. Express understanding by using phrases like, "That sounds really challenging," or "I imagine that was difficult for you." Offer support, not solutions. Sometimes people just want to be heard, not advice. Ask, "How can I best support you?" Reflection exercise. Improving listening skills. Recall a recent conversation where you could have listened more actively. What distractions or habits might have interfered? Commit to improving in your next interaction by focusing on active listening. Exercises. Empathy mapping. Empathy mapping is a tool to deepen your understanding of someone else's perspective. It involves imagining yourself in their position and considering their thoughts, feelings, and needs. Steps to create an empathy map. Choose a person you want to understand better, e.g., a coworker, family member, or friend. Divide a piece of paper into 4 quadrants labeled, what they think. What might they be thinking about their situation or environment? What they feel. What emotions are they likely experiencing? What they say. What words or phrases do they use to express themselves? What they do. How are they behaving, and what actions might reflect their emotions? Fill in each quadrant based on what you know and observe. Reflection questions after mapping. Did you gain new insights into their perspective? How might this understanding influence your interactions with them? Benefits of empathy in relationships. Empathy creates a foundation of trust and connection in all types of relationships. When people feel understood, they are more likely to open up, collaborate, and engage meaningfully. In personal relationships, strengthens bonds. Empathy allows you to navigate challenges with compassion and understanding. Promotes conflict resolution. Understanding the other person's perspective makes it easier to find mutually agreeable solutions. Fosters emotional intimacy. Feeling seen deepens the connection between individuals. In professional relationships, enhances collaboration. Empathy helps build rapport and encourages teamwork. Improves leadership. Understanding employees' needs and concerns leads to better decision-making and support. Reduces workplace tension. Empathy can diffuse conflicts and foster a positive work environment. Empathy and emotional intelligence. Empathy is a vital component of emotional intelligence, closely tied to self-awareness and social skills. Self-awareness, understanding your own emotions, helps you relate to others' feelings without projecting your biases. Social skills. Empathy enhances your ability to navigate social interactions effectively. Practicing empathy also reinforces other aspects of emotional intelligence, such as active listening and emotional regulation. Conclusion. Empathy is a skill that enriches every interaction, whether at home, work, or in the broader community. By recognizing emotional cues, listening actively, and responding compassionately, you create an environment where understanding and collaboration thrive. As you integrate empathy into your daily life, you'll not only deepen your connections with others but also enhance your emotional intelligence. In the next chapter, we'll explore the social skills that build upon empathy, helping you foster trust, resolve conflicts, and navigate complex interpersonal dynamics. Chapter 6. Enhancing social skills. Social skills are the visible application of emotional intelligence, shaping how we interact, build relationships, and collaborate with others. They encompass a range of behaviors, from active listening to effective conflict resolution. Mastering social skills improves personal and professional relationships and fosters a sense of community. Building trust and rapport. Trust is the foundation of meaningful relationships. Establishing rapport requires a genuine interest in others and consistent, positive interactions. Principles of building trust. Consistency, reliability in words and actions builds confidence over time. Transparency, being honest and open, even about mistakes, reinforces authenticity. Empathy, demonstrating understanding and care fosters emotional safety. Techniques for building rapport. Find common ground. Discover shared interests or experiences to create a connection. Mirror behavior. Subtle mirroring of body language and tone can establish comfort and familiarity. Show appreciation. Recognizing others' efforts or achievements strengthens the bond. Exercise. Strengthening rapport. Choose one relationship to focus on for a week. Actively practice finding common ground, showing appreciation, and being consistent in your interactions. Reflect on any changes you notice in the relationship dynamic. Effective conflict resolution techniques. Conflict is inevitable, but it doesn't have to damage relationships. With the right approach, conflicts can lead to growth and understanding. Steps to resolve conflicts effectively. Acknowledge emotions. Recognize and validate the emotions involved, both yours and the other parties. Define the problem clearly. Avoid assumptions, and focus on the root cause of the conflict. Practice active listening. Ensure both parties feel heard and understood. Collaborate on solutions. Work together to identify a resolution that respects both perspectives. Follow up. Revisit the issue to ensure the solution is working and the relationship remains strong. Phrases to navigate conflict. Help me understand your perspective. What can we do together to address this? I see your point, and I'd like to share mine. Role-playing exercise. Conflict resolution. Pair with a friend or colleague to practice resolving a fictional conflict. Take turns playing the roles of both parties. Focus on using empathic language and active listening. Exercises. Practicing open-ended questions. Open-ended questions encourage deeper conversations and demonstrate genuine interest in others. They invite the other person to share thoughts, feelings, or experiences freely, creating space for meaningful dialogue. Examples of open-ended questions. Personal connections. What's been the highlight of your week? Professional settings. What's your vision for this project? Problem solving. How do you see us overcoming this challenge? Practice exercise. During your next conversation, consciously use at least 3 open-ended questions. Observe how these questions impact the flow and depth of the discussion. Navigating group dynamics. In group settings, social skills play a critical role in fostering harmony and collaboration. Being attuned to the group's emotional climate and ensuring everyone feels included can lead to more productive and satisfying interactions. Tips for engaging in group dynamics. Be inclusive. Encourage quieter members to share their ideas. Mediate conflicts. Act as a neutral party to diffuse tensions. Express gratitude. Acknowledge contributions to boost morale. Group exercise. Collaborative brainstorming. Organize a small group session focused on a shared goal or project. Facilitate the discussion by actively listening, ensuring inclusivity, and addressing any conflicts that arise. Social skills and leadership. Leaders with strong social skills inspire trust, foster collaboration, and navigate complex interpersonal dynamics effectively. Key leadership behaviors. Adaptability. Adjust communication style based on the audience. Clarity. Express expectations and goals clearly and constructively. Empowerment. Encourage others to take initiative and recognize their contributions. Exercise. Leadership communication practice. Identify a scenario where you need to lead a conversation or meeting. Plan your approach using active listening, open-ended questions, and empathic responses. Afterward, reflect on what worked well and what could improve. Applying social skills across contexts. Social skills are versatile and can be adapted to various scenarios, from casual conversations to high-stakes negotiations. Personal relationships. Use humor and shared memories to strengthen bonds. Practice forgiveness and understanding to navigate disagreements. Professional relationships. Network with authenticity, focusing on genuine connections rather than superficial exchanges. Provide constructive feedback in a way that inspires growth rather than defensiveness. Community engagement. Volunteer for group activities or events to connect with others. Be a positive influence by modeling inclusivity and kindness. Conclusion. Enhancing your social skills is a journey that requires practice, patience, and self-awareness. As you refine these abilities, you'll find your interactions becoming more meaningful, your relationships deeper, and your influence more impactful. Social skills are a powerful tool for creating a world where communication is clear, trust is abundant, and collaboration is seamless. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to balance emotional intelligence in personal relationships, emphasizing the importance of setting boundaries and handling emotional challenges with empathy. Chapter 7. Balancing emotional intelligence in personal relationships. Emotional intelligence, EI, is especially crucial in personal relationships, where emotions run deep and stakes are high. Balancing EI in these contexts requires setting healthy boundaries, navigating emotional challenges with empathy, and cultivating a foundation of trust and mutual respect. This chapter will guide you through these processes, equipping you with tools to enhance and nurture your personal connections. Setting boundaries with empathy. Boundaries are essential for maintaining healthy relationships. They define where your emotional needs and responsibilities end, and others begin. When set with empathy, boundaries ensure mutual respect without compromising compassion. The importance of boundaries. Protect emotional well-being. Healthy boundaries prevent burnout and resentment. Clarify expectations. Boundaries establish clear communication and mutual respect. Foster self-respect. They affirm your values and needs in relationships. How to set empathetic boundaries. Identify your limits. Reflect on what makes you feel comfortable or uncomfortable. Communicate clearly. Use I statements to express your boundaries without assigning blame. Example: I feel overwhelmed when plans change last minute. Can we agree to give each other advance notice? Listen actively. Acknowledge the other person's feelings while holding firm to your needs. Reinforce boundaries when needed. Consistency is key to maintaining respect for your boundaries. Exercise. Boundary reflection. Write down one situation where you felt your boundaries were crossed. Reflect on how you can address it empathetically, using the steps above. Navigating emotional challenges in close relationships. Close relationships often face emotional challenges, such as misunderstandings, unmet expectations, or conflicts. Navigating these challenges with EI involves empathy, patience, and constructive communication. Recognizing emotional patterns. Triggers. Identify recurring situations that lead to emotional conflict. Responses. Reflect on how you typically react in these scenarios. Reframing. Shift your perspective to view the situation through the other person's lens. Steps for resolving emotional challenges. Pause before reacting. Give yourself time to process emotions before responding. Express emotions constructively. Avoid accusations. Focus on sharing your feelings and needs. Seek solutions together. Collaborate to find a resolution that benefits both parties. Exercise. Emotional check-ins. Schedule regular check-ins with a close friend or partner to discuss emotions, challenges, and areas for improvement in the relationship. Cultivating emotional intimacy. Emotional intimacy deepens connections and strengthens bonds. It involves creating a safe space where vulnerability is embraced and understanding flourishes. Building emotional intimacy. Share openly. Discuss fears, dreams, and experiences with honesty. Practice active listening. Focus on understanding rather than formulating a response. Show gratitude. Acknowledge and appreciate the other person's efforts and qualities. Exercise. Daily appreciation practice. At the end of each day, share one thing you appreciate about your partner, friend, or family member. Overcoming emotional disconnect. Emotional disconnect can occur when communication breaks down or when unaddressed emotions create distance. Restoring connection requires patience, reflection, and intentional action. Signs of emotional disconnect. Decreased communication or avoidance of deep topics. Frequent misunderstandings or feelings of being unseen. A lack of empathy or support during challenging times. Rebuilding connection. Acknowledge the disconnect. Address the issue openly without assigning blame. Example: I feel like we haven't been connecting as much lately. Can we talk about it? Revisit shared values. Reflect on what brought you together, and focus on those strengths. Invest in quality time. Prioritize activities that encourage connection, such as shared hobbies or meaningful conversations. Reflective listening. A key skill. Reflective listening involves not only hearing the words spoken but understanding and validating the emotions behind them. Steps for reflective listening. Listen without interrupting. Allow the speaker to share fully. Reflect what you hear. Paraphrase their words to confirm understanding. Example: it sounds like you're feeling frustrated because you didn't feel heard. Validate their emotions. Show empathy and acknowledge their experience. Example: I can see why that situation would feel overwhelming. Exercise. Reflective listening practice. During your next conversation, practice reflective listening. Notice how it impacts the flow and emotional depth of the dialogue. Strengthening relationships through EI. Emotionally intelligent relationships thrive on trust, empathy, and mutual respect. Applying EI in your personal life creates a supportive environment where both individuals feel valued and understood. Tips for strengthening relationships. Be present, focus on the moment, and give your undivided attention during interactions. Address issues promptly. Avoid letting grievances fester. Approach conflicts with openness. Celebrate milestones together. Acknowledge and celebrate each other's successes, big or small. Exercise. Relationship audit. Choose one relationship to focus on this week. Reflect on its strengths and areas for growth. Identify one action you can take to enhance the relationship. Conclusion. Balancing emotional intelligence in personal relationships is a dynamic process that requires effort, reflection, and continuous growth. By setting empathetic boundaries, navigating emotional challenges, and fostering emotional intimacy, you create deeper, more fulfilling connections. In the next chapter, we'll explore how emotional intelligence plays a pivotal role in professional settings, enhancing leadership, teamwork, and adaptability in the workplace. Chapter 8. Emotional Intelligence in the Workplace. The workplace is a dynamic environment where collaboration, leadership, and adaptability are crucial. Emotional intelligence, EI, in professional settings enhances communication, fosters teamwork, and builds resilience. This chapter explores how EI contributes to leadership, team dynamics, and navigating workplace challenges. With actionable strategies for fostering collaboration and maintaining harmony. The role of EI in professional success. Emotional intelligence is a differentiator in the workplace, enabling individuals to excel in relationships, decision-making, and stress management. Research shows that high EI correlates with effective leadership, improved performance, and greater job satisfaction. Why EI matters at work. Improved communication. Understanding emotions enhances clarity and reduces misunderstandings. Stronger collaboration. EI fosters empathy and trust, the foundations of effective teamwork. Adaptability to change. Emotionally intelligent individuals navigate uncertainty with resilience. Leadership and team dynamics. Emotionally intelligent leadership inspires teams and cultivates a positive work culture. Leaders with high EI demonstrate self-awareness, empathy, and the ability to motivate others effectively. Key EI skills for leadership. Empathy and decision-making. Understanding team members' perspectives helps align decisions with their needs and values. Effective communication. Transparent and compassionate communication builds trust and engagement. Conflict resolution. Addressing conflicts constructively prevents issues from escalating and preserves relationships. Exercises for leaders. Emotion mapping. During team meetings, observe and reflect on emotional dynamics. Identify areas where support or intervention may be needed. Feedback practice. Provide constructive feedback that focuses on growth, not blame. Building emotionally intelligent teams. Team dynamics thrive when emotional intelligence is prioritized. Members feel valued, supported, and aligned toward common goals. Strategies for fostering EI in teams. Encourage open communication. Create a safe space for team members to express concerns and ideas without judgment. Promote empathy. Facilitate team-building activities that help members understand each other's strengths and challenges. Cultivate trust. Be consistent and transparent in your actions, ensuring reliability and accountability. Exercise. Role-playing workplace scenarios. Divide into pairs and act out workplace conflicts. Practice resolving them using EI principles like active listening, empathy, and collaborative problem solving. Adapting to change. Change is inevitable in professional environments. Emotional intelligence equips individuals to remain flexible and resilient, managing stress while supporting colleagues through transitions. Strategies for adapting to change. Recognize emotional responses. Identify how change affects your emotions and those of your team. Communicate clearly. Provide context for changes, addressing concerns openly. Focus on solutions. Channel energy into constructive actions that facilitate adaptation. Exercise. Change reflection worksheet. Reflect on a recent workplace change. Write down the emotions it triggered, how you responded, steps you could take to navigate similar changes more effectively. Handling workplace conflicts. Conflict is a natural part of collaboration. Emotional intelligence helps de-escalate tensions and turn conflicts into opportunities for growth. Steps for conflict resolution. Acknowledge emotions. Validate feelings without judgment. Example: I understand this situation is frustrating. Focus on the issue. Separate emotions from the problem at hand. Collaborate on solutions. Involve all parties in brainstorming ways to move forward. Exercise. Conflict journaling. After a workplace disagreement, journal about the situation, focusing on your emotional response, the other person's perspective, possible resolutions that align with both interests. Creating a positive work culture. Workplace culture reflects the collective emotional intelligence of its members. Leaders and teams can shape an environment where EI flourishes. Tips for cultivating a positive culture. Led by example. Demonstrate EI in your interactions, encouraging others to do the same. Celebrate achievements. Acknowledge both individual and team successes, fostering motivation and camaraderie. Provide support. Offer resources for stress management, personal development, and emotional well-being. Exercise. Gratitude circle. During team meetings, take a moment for each member to express gratitude for another's contributions. Conclusion. Emotional intelligence is a cornerstone of professional success, empowering individuals and teams to navigate challenges, adapt to change, and build meaningful connections. By prioritizing EI in leadership, collaboration, and workplace culture, you create an environment where productivity and well-being go hand in hand. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to overcome emotional barriers, addressing fears and negative self-talk while cultivating resilience in the face of adversity. Chapter 9. Overcoming Emotional Barriers. Emotional barriers can impede your ability to thrive in relationships, achieve your goals, and enjoy emotional well-being. By understanding and addressing these barriers, you can unlock your potential, cultivate resilience, and maintain emotional balance. This chapter explores common emotional obstacles like fear, anxiety, and negative self-talk, offering strategies to overcome them and exercises for practical application. Identifying emotional barriers. Emotional barriers often manifest as internal challenges that block your ability to process or express emotions effectively. These barriers can stem from past experiences, stress, or ingrained thought patterns. Common emotional barriers. Fear of vulnerability. Hesitation to express feelings or seek support due to fear of judgment or rejection. Anxiety and overwhelm. Persistent worry or stress that clouds decision-making and emotional clarity. Negative self-talk. Internal criticism that undermines confidence and motivation. Emotional suppression. Avoiding or bottling up emotions, leading to disconnection and burnout. Reflection exercise. Barrier awareness journal. Reflect on a recent emotionally challenging situation. Write about the emotions you experienced. Any barriers that arose, for example, fear, doubt, or avoidance. The impact of these barriers on your actions or relationships. Addressing fear and anxiety. Fear and anxiety are natural responses to uncertainty or perceived threats, but can become barriers when they dominate your emotional landscape. Managing these emotions requires a combination of self-awareness and proactive strategies. Strategies for overcoming fear and anxiety. Challenge catastrophic thinking. Question worst-case scenarios and consider more balanced outcomes. Example, instead of, "I'll fail completely," reframe to, "Even if I stumble, I can learn and improve." Practice gradual exposure. Face fears in small, manageable steps to build confidence over time. Example, if public speaking is a fear, start by presenting to a trusted friend before expanding to larger audiences. Leverage relaxation techniques. Use mindfulness, deep breathing, or progressive muscle relaxation to reduce physiological stress responses. Exercise. Fear reframing chart. Write down a fear or anxiety-inducing thought. Identify the underlying emotion or trigger. Reframe the thought with a positive or neutral perspective. Breaking free from negative self-talk. Negative self-talk can erode self-esteem and reinforce limiting beliefs. To counteract this, you must replace destructive inner narratives with constructive ones. Types of negative self-talk. All or nothing thinking. Viewing situations in extremes, such as, "I always fail," or "I'll never succeed." Personalization. Assuming blame for situations beyond your control. Filtering. Focusing solely on negatives while ignoring positives. Strategies to counter negative self-talk. Self-compassion practice. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding as you would a friend. Evidence gathering. Look for evidence that challenges negative thoughts and supports positive beliefs. Affirmation development. Create affirmations that counteract negative self-perceptions. Exercise. Rewriting inner narratives. Write down a recurring negative thought. Identify evidence that contradicts this thought. Write a new, positive affirmation to replace the negative thought. Cultivating resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks and adapt to challenges. Developing resilience helps you navigate emotional barriers and emerge stronger. Core components of resilience. Emotional regulation. Managing emotions effectively during stress or adversity. Cognitive flexibility. Adapting your mindset to embrace change and find solutions. Social support. Relying on trusted relationships for encouragement and perspective. Strategies to build resilience. Adopt a growth mindset. View challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. Set realistic goals. Break large challenges into smaller, manageable tasks to build momentum. Celebrate small wins. Acknowledge progress, no matter how minor, to boost confidence and motivation. Exercise. Resilience reflection. Think of a challenging situation you've overcome. Write about what helped you persevere, lessons you learned from the experience, how you can apply those lessons to current or future challenges. Harnessing emotional intelligence for long-term growth. Overcoming emotional barriers is not a one-time effort, but an ongoing process. Emotional intelligence plays a critical role in sustaining your growth and preventing setbacks. Integrating EI into daily life. Mindfulness practice. Regularly check in with your emotions to maintain self-awareness. Continuous learning. Seek out resources, workshops, or coaching to deepen your understanding of EI. Accountability partner. Share your goals and progress with a trusted friend or mentor for support and encouragement. Conclusion. Addressing emotional barriers like fear, anxiety, and negative self-talk is essential for personal and professional growth. By developing resilience, cultivating self-compassion, and leveraging emotional intelligence, you can transform challenges into opportunities for empowerment. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to sustain your growth by becoming a lifelong learner of emotional intelligence, with strategies for tracking progress and building habits for continuous improvement. Chapter 10: Becoming a lifelong learner of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is not a destination, it's a continuous journey. Mastering EI requires ongoing practice, reflection, and adaptation. By committing to lifelong learning, you can enhance your ability to navigate complex emotions, build stronger relationships, and maintain resilience in the face of change. This chapter outlines strategies to measure your EI growth, develop sustainable habits, and maintain progress through consistent self-evaluation and practice. Measuring and tracking EI growth. Tracking your progress helps you identify areas of strength and opportunities for improvement. While emotional intelligence is complex and multifaceted, it can be assessed through self-reflection, feedback, and structured tools. Tools for measuring EI. Self-assessment scales. Online tests or quizzes that evaluate core components of EI, such as self-awareness, empathy, and social skills. Example: the Emotional Quotient Inventory, EQI. Feedback from others. Request input from trusted colleagues, friends, or mentors who can provide insight into how you handle emotions and relationships. Behavioral observation. Monitor how you respond to challenges, conflicts, or emotionally charged situations. Exercise. Emotional Intelligence Growth Chart. Create a chart with the 5 EI domains: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Rate yourself monthly on a scale from 1 to 10 in each domain. Note specific actions or events that influenced your scores. Developing habits for continuous improvement. Building habits ensures that emotional intelligence becomes a natural part of your daily life. By incorporating small, consistent practices, you can reinforce EI skills over time. Daily EI practices. Morning mindfulness. Begin each day with a brief mindfulness exercise to center yourself and set an emotional tone for the day. Emotion check-ins. Pause during the day to ask, what am I feeling right now? What triggered this emotion? Gratitude practice. Reflect on 3 positive experiences or interactions daily to cultivate a positive emotional state. Weekly EI practices. Feedback reflection. Review feedback you received during the week. What did you learn? How can you improve? Skill-focused goals. Choose one EI skill, e.g., active listening, to intentionally practice throughout the week. Monthly EI practices. Goal review and adjustment. Reflect on your progress and set new EI goals based on your experiences and feedback. Journaling deep dive. Write a detailed journal entry analyzing a significant emotional event and your response to it. Building resilience through emotional intelligence. Resilience is an essential part of maintaining emotional growth. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but they also provide opportunities to deepen your emotional intelligence. Strategies for building resilience. Embrace change. View change as an opportunity to learn and grow. Ask, what can I gain from this experience? Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself when you face emotional setbacks. Reframe mistakes as learning experiences rather than failures. Stay connected. Build and maintain supportive relationships that encourage emotional expression and mutual growth. Exercise. Resilience planner. Write down one challenging situation you are currently facing. Identify one EI skill you can use to navigate this challenge. Plan specific actions you will take to address the situation with emotional intelligence. Creating an EI learning ecosystem. Lifelong learning is easier when you surround yourself with resources and environments that foster growth. Resources for ongoing EI development. Books and articles. Explore works by EI experts such as Daniel Goleman, Breen Brown, and Susan David. Courses and workshops. Attend training programs on mindfulness, leadership, or communication to deepen specific EI skills. Digital tools. Use apps like Mood Meter or Insight Timer to track emotions and practice mindfulness. Building a supportive network. Accountability partners. Partner with someone who shares your commitment to EI growth. Share goals, successes, and challenges regularly. Mentors and coaches. Seek guidance from those with advanced EI skills who can provide constructive feedback and encouragement. EI communities. Join online or local groups focused on personal development and emotional intelligence. Exercises. Monthly EI check-ins. Regular check-ins help you stay aligned with your goals and maintain momentum. Use the following framework to conduct a monthly review. Reflect on progress. What have I improved in over the past month? Which challenges did I handle well? Where did I struggle? Set new goals. Choose one specific EI skill to focus on improving next month. Plan actions. Identify practical steps to strengthen your chosen skill. Example, if your goal is to enhance empathy, plan to practice active listening in 3 specific conversations. Celebrate wins. Acknowledge your progress and reward yourself for milestones, no matter how small. Conclusion. Becoming a lifelong learner of emotional intelligence is a rewarding journey that enriches every aspect of your life. By consistently measuring progress, building habits, and seeking growth opportunities, you can cultivate a deeper understanding of yourself and others. In the final chapter, we'll reflect on the transformative power of emotional intelligence and how it shapes your legacy, providing encouragement for the path ahead. Chapter 11. Conclusion. The transformative power of emotional intelligence. As we bring this journey to a close, let's reflect on the transformative potential of emotional intelligence, EI. Throughout this guide, we've explored the many facets of EI, from self-awareness to empathy, and how these skills can shape a life of meaning, connection, and resilience. Emotional intelligence is more than a set of skills, it's a mindset, a way of being that affects how you interact with the world, and the legacy you leave behind. In this chapter, we'll discuss how EI shapes your legacy, why it's never too late to grow, and how to find encouragement and joy in the lifelong practice of emotional intelligence. How EI shapes your legacy. Your emotional intelligence doesn't just benefit you, it impacts everyone around you. By cultivating EI, you create ripples of positive influence in your relationships, workplace, and community. A legacy of connection. Personal relationships. EI strengthens bonds with loved ones by fostering understanding, trust, and compassion. People will remember you for how you made them feel, for your ability to truly listen, and for your kindness in moments that mattered. Professional impact. Leaders with high EI inspire others, navigate challenges with grace, and create environments where people thrive. Your EI can be the key to leaving a lasting mark in your field. A legacy of growth. Mentorship and guidance. As you develop your emotional intelligence, you'll naturally inspire and guide others on their journeys. Sharing your knowledge and experiences can ignite growth in others, creating a legacy of learning. Resilience through change. The ability to adapt, remain grounded, and model resilience is a gift to those around you. By demonstrating how to face challenges with emotional intelligence, you set an example for others to follow. It's never too late to begin. Whether you're just beginning your EI journey or refining skills you've practiced for years, know that growth is always possible. Emotional intelligence is not fixed. It evolves with effort, self-awareness, and practice. Overcoming barriers to growth. Releasing perfectionism. There's no perfect emotional intelligence. Mistakes and setbacks are part of the process. Embracing vulnerability. Growth requires honesty with yourself and others. Be willing to face uncomfortable truths and seek support when needed. Starting small, even small changes, like pausing to reflect before reacting, can lead to significant progress over time. Encouragement for the journey ahead. Finding motivation. Celebrate small wins. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to mastering EI. Draw inspiration from others. Surround yourself with people who embody the EI qualities you admire. Their example can fuel your determination. Focus on impact. Reflect on how your EI growth has already made a difference in your life and the lives of others. Staying consistent. Revisit your why. Regularly remind yourself of the reasons you embarked on this journey, whether to build better relationships, achieve professional success, or find inner peace. Practice patience. Emotional intelligence takes time to develop. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Adapt to life's changes. As your circumstances evolve, so will your EI challenges and opportunities. Embrace these changes as part of your journey. The joy of emotional intelligence. At its heart, emotional intelligence is about living fully, embracing the highs and lows of life, with curiosity, compassion, and courage. It's about building deeper connections with others and discovering your own inner strength. The practice of EI is not a burden, but a gift you give to yourself and those around you. Final reflection exercise. Your EI story. Write a letter to yourself about your journey with emotional intelligence. Reflect on where you started, the progress you've made, and the goals you envision for the future. Keep this letter as a reminder of your growth and as encouragement to continue striving. Parting words. The journey of mastering emotional intelligence is not a straight path, nor is it one that ever truly ends. But with each step, you gain the tools to navigate life's complexities, foster meaningful relationships, and create a legacy of kindness and understanding. Remember, the transformative power of emotional intelligence lies in its ability to bring out the best in yourself and others. As you continue this journey, embrace the challenges, celebrate the victories, and find joy in the process of becoming your most emotionally intelligent self. Thank you for taking this journey, and may your path ahead be filled with growth, connection, and fulfillment.